Hi guys, welcome to a class. For yin classes, I really recommend you bring props to support you as we hold these postures for anywhere between 2 to 5 minutes, making sure we land somewhere that is supportive for our joints is really important, especially for my babes who are hypermobile. Putting supports around your joints will really help you in the long run to keep them healthy and happy. Alright, as you get yourself settled, come to a comfortable child's pose. Using pillows, blocks, and bolsters as needed for your body. When you land in this posture, you should be in a stretch sense of somewhere between 40 and 60% of your stretch capacity. The sensation will rise as we hold this posture for extended periods of time. As we settle in, really tune into your breath. That is going to be your anchor through this whole class, especially as sensations start to build and get loud in the body. Our breath will be our anchor to encourage us to stay with these postures, to stay into the stillness. And then as we start to let the wiggles move out of our body, can we really sink into stillness? Imagine stillness as a cloud, and you're sinking into it and letting it settle into all the nooks and crannies of your body. Throughout this class, I'm going to be pretty quiet to allow you to work with your internal dialogue. Couple hints here that I like to give people with yin yoga classes as we hold these postures and tissue areas start to get really loud in the mind. Opening the eyes is such a lovely and simple way to dissipate sensation in the body. When we open our eyes, that's sending visual feedback to our brain that it needs to interpret, and that in itself can counteract some of the sensation that's moving from the body up into the brain to interpret, and can allow you to sit in stillness without the overwhelm of sensation. Playing with the breath, lengthening or shortening the breath cycles as needed for your constitution right now. Alright, you've made it fit through your first posture. Slowly, in the next 30 seconds to a minute, find yourself moving out of this child's pose and come to sitting on your booty. You need to roll out the wrists, the knees, the ankles. Please do so. That's some intense compression through those areas. Moving slow and intentional. Good. And then when you find that sitting posture, bring your arms behind you. Fingertips facing the same way as the toes. So the fingers are facing towards your booty, towards your feet. And then we pull the shoulder blades back together, just initially to help us open our chest. And then we press down the weight into the palms of our hands, broadening the chest and stretching the front line of our arms. And then doing what you need to do with your feet and your legs is up to you. You can have them bent or have them straight. It really depends on your anatomy, what's going to feel good to you. And remember here, we're not trying to go to full stretch capacity in the arms. We're going to a place that's somewhere between 40 and 60% of your stretch capacity initially. So moving your arms further away from your torso or closer to your torso is another way to adjust the amount of stretch you're feeling through your chest and the front of your arms. Good, and then we settle in. Quiet the body, quiet the micro movements. Try to drop into and land into the cloud of stillness. Soften the gaze if that's comfortable for your body. Anchor your presence and awareness to your breath. And simply try to notice sensations as they arise in the body. Keeping the breath cycles full and long, especially when sensation builds and it feels too loud. Can we soften the areas that are holding tension? Can we let there be a bit more give and stretch in our connective tissue? Can we feel some fascial unwinding happening as we hold these postures for a few minutes at a time? All right, big breath in. Big breath out. Allow yourself to transition out of this posture. Roll out the wrist and the shoulders as needed and come to lying down on your back. Lift your arms up, interlace the fingers, and then push your shoulders away. Guide the hands over to the right side, bending your right arm as you do so. Then unweave the hands and bring your right arm to your left elbow or forearm. And then adjust the pitch of your left shoulder by bringing the elbow up or down based off of your anatomy and based off of what feels the best in your shoulder and through your chest. And you're not pulling or tugging, you're just letting the weight of your hand bring a little extra stretch through the back of your shoulder and the back of your arm. And then we settle. We feel heavy in both shoulders. And we find some nice, big, deep belly breathing. Good, big breath in, big breath out. For the transition, reach both arms up. Wiggle out the shoulders, roll them up towards your ears and back down your back. And then switch sides. And then once you find that sweet spot, you settle and feel heavy through your body. So we can start to let the holding patterns within our tissues soften and shift. Big breaths in through the nose, out through the nose. Start to slowly come out of this posture. Bring the arms up, shake them out as needed. And then roll yourself onto your belly. In the next 30 seconds, no rush. Once you're on your belly, reach your right arm out like a T. Right cheek comes down on the ground. Then bring your left hand in front of your face just for support. You try to roll your left hip on top of your right. Play around with where your hips land here. This is a bit of a twist through your spine and a big opening through the front of your chest. Bending your knees can be a really helpful way to make the sensation be a little less intense in the chest and the arm. Rolling your hips closer to the outstretched arm is going to increase the stretch. And rolling your hips further away from the outstretched arm is going to decrease the stretch. The left hand can find somewhere that it can land that's comfortable and relaxed. And then you melt into your chest and into the neck, softening and finding heaviness. Allowing our shoulder and the musculature of the chest to open and soften. Taking big, deep breaths into the chest, into the belly. Big breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Slowly transition yourself to laying back on your belly, then bringing your chin to neutral and allowing the arm to come in. Opposite side, left arm reaches out, left cheek comes down onto the mat. Bring your right hand like a goalpost to support your chest as you stack your hips on top of each other. Play around with hip placement, leg placement, and arm. Find a place that intuitively feels good for the shoulder, that allows a juicy stretch, that doesn't feel like it's pulling the shoulder out of its joint space. And then try to settle. Try to soften where you can. Relax the tension in the face, the jaw. big breath in. Big breath out. Transition to lying on your belly. In the next 30 seconds, make your way onto your back and bring your arms out to a T, opening your chest and softening your eyes, allowing things to settle. Allow your presence to take inventory on how your shoulders, chest, and upper back feel. Can you find a deeper breath through the rib cage? Does your heart have a little more room to move and take up space in? I'm going to end the class here. Stay here for as long as you need. I'll allow the video to run for another 10 minutes. Thank you. I'll see you next time.